So, life on board the International Space Station very busy for the astronauts, and there's a lot of things that they can't take with them when they're working in space. A lot of amenities here on Earth that we get to enjoy that they don't get while they're up there. Among them, doing laundry. I mean, water is a very precious resource when you're in space, and you can't spare water for anything except for the essentials. So, the astronauts actually very limited in keeping clean. Here to talk today about what we do to help them cope with, wearing clothes for long periods of time and not being able to clean them. I have Evelyn Orndorff. She's with the Crew and Thermal Systems Division here at the Johnson Space Center. She's doing a study called the IVA, or Intravehicular Activity Clothing Study. Evelyn, thank you so much for joining me today. Real quick, what's the typical life cycle for these clothes that these astronauts are wearing?
It's supposed to be one mission. However, this is not exactly the way things work. There's a huge pantry with clothes that are being brought each time there's a cargo vehicle resupplying. So there is a usage rate which we go by that's prescribed for each type of garment. So basically that can be from 2 days to up to 30 days. So that would be more specific, and 2 days is for undergarments and 30 days would be like for cargo pants.
Okay. And what are some of the challenges? I mean, when you're wearing the same clothes for 30 days, that's got to get a little grimy, especially they're exercising 2 hours every day. What are some of the challenges that you guys are trying to overcome with this new study?
Okay, so our study is actually a task in the Logistics Reduction and Repurposing project. It's one of 5 tasks under that project, which was funded by the Advanced Exploration Systems program. And the whole idea is actually to reduce the up mass of clothing and the storage volume of clothing with, mostly for future long duration manned missions.
Okay. And so what are some of the are there different clothes for different, activities for
Correct.
the astronauts on board?
Yeah, they are actually, you have, day wear, sleep wear, exercise wear. So, and right now, the CMC contract, you have a provision for so many clothes that have been selected from past experience in the shuttle program, also based on crew preference. The clothes are using mostly cotton as the main fiber, and there are lots of reasons why we like cotton, but there's lots of new technology in the textile industry, especially in performance clothing, and we're looking at commercially off-the-shelf available garments and see just from there if we can address those two criteria of mass reduction and reduced volume, and we think we can do that. So one of the rationale for the study is to look at those clothes and other attributes, like if there are antimicrobial agents added to the garments, does it help prolong the period the crew member can wear the same garment.
And I know it's not just, mass saving, stuff like that. There's also kind of a psychological component to wearing these clothes. I mean, it's got to feel nice to, put on a fresh shirt after wearing the same thing for 30 days straight. You guys are looking at some of those aspects as well, correct?
Absolutely. Actually, we can provide the crew with the best technical garment, and we have the technology to produce such a garment that requires that meets all our requirements for flammability, toxicity, and durability and performance. But if the crew, they don't like it, what's the point?
Yeah.
And that's the whole challenge about apparel, because for long duration mission, whatever they will take with them is what they have for the, even right now on the space station, it's more like an expedition, like going to the Everest and coming back. It's short duration, but you're talking like a 3-year mission. You're taking your entire wardrobe with you, and you live with it, and it's part of your image and everything. So we are very careful about getting that perception from the crew and other test subjects. We also had participate in similar studies on the ground.
So this, like so many things on station, getting us ready for those next step missions, the missions to Mars, things like that.
Yes, yeah. The ultimate goal is to design a wardrobe for long duration manned missions.
And how does the crew let you know kind of what they're thinking, how they're feeling on orbit? Are they giving you direct feedback? And
No, we have collected from crew debrief some comments from past missions. So before we started the study, we gathered all that information, working with folks in SF3, but this is what our study addresses: is the perception of the crew, of the people who wear the clothes, and what is of the utmost importance to us in the study is that we have done already a ground study with 80 participants, and the crew will wear the clothes, at least the exercise clothes, during their BDC, baseline data collection, so they have a chance to try the clothes while they exercise here before the mission or after the mission. And then, of course, there's the experiment we have on orbit, and the crew is the only group that can tell us if there's a difference in perception of the garment in microgravity versus in Earth gravity. That's very important because they go through so many physiological changes. We need to understand. We know there's the skin sensitivity is a bit exacerbated, so we need to understand if something that would feel comfortable here may not feel as comfortable in the space station. So that's why they're a very important group, and we're very excited about that experiment.
All right, yeah, and a lot of things you don't normally think about, you can find out in space. Happens with every experiment we do. It seems to happen with everything we do, even, developing some space-age duds for our astronauts.
Yes.
All right, well, again, Evelyn Orndorff with the Crew and Thermal Systems Division here at the Johnson Space Center talking about IVA clothing. Thanks so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see some snazzy duds in the guys in the not-too-distant future.
Thank you.
Thanks.